Alright, it's Mike with Rendition Marq. Today we're going to show you how to install your Rendition magnet trigger kit into the Marq series gun. Now I've got two kits out there. I've got one for the standard Marq trigger and I've got one for the closer trigger. It's pretty much about the same kit. The only difference is the magnet that goes in the trigger is slightly different for the closer as it is for the Marq. But today we're going to install the Marq trigger. Now for the essence of time, I already got the grip already removed. I've already unscrewed the two screws there. So we can just slide out your grip frame. Okay. Now the next thing you want to do is go ahead and unscrew your trigger pin. Yeah, this may shoot forward a little bit. There it goes. Okay. And then go ahead and slide your trigger out the top. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to want to unscrew is your trigger stop plate. So go ahead and take out the two screws. Just got to be careful. Okay, those come out. And out comes trigger top plate. Okay, now what you do is take your super glue that we include in the kit, poke the hole in the top, and be really careful because you do not want to get glue on your fingers. And just go ahead and put a small drop right there. And at this point, polarity doesn't matter, so just go ahead and take the large magnet. Sometimes a little bit of a tight fit. So what you can sometimes do is get yourself a pair of pliers and then just press it. Because it is just about a perfect fit. So there we go. Okay. Alright, now if that's in place, now what you want to go ahead and do is, this is a pretty big important step here. What you want to do is take this screw, which was your trigger stop screw, and screw it into the trigger a little ways. If you leave it like this, what's going to happen is when you glue the magnet on the end here, what's going to end up happening is it'll end up hitting this magnet. So what I'd probably say is go ahead and glue the magnet to it first. Let's go ahead and do a quick polarity check. Okay, that's the right polarity. Okay, take your super glue, put a drop on there. Okay, now once you get this lined up properly, go ahead and take your Allen key and start threading this screw into the trigger. Now pretty much wait until it's about flush. You probably want to maybe go just a little further back just to be safe. You can always adjust this back a little bit later. There we go. So about like that, and then obviously this needs to dry for a few minutes, so we're going to let both of these dry for about 10 minutes and then come back and start installing it back into the gun. Okay, now that we've given this about 10 minutes to dry, I want to go ahead and reiterate a point about the rear magnet. This is a perfect fit into the spring socket, so if you do notice that your magnet may be kind of wobbled one way or the other or off slightly, go ahead and take a pair of pliers and don't be afraid to press it into place. Like I said, this is very, very close tolerance, perfect fit, so don't be afraid to press that magnet into place, but you definitely want to make sure that it's flush, perfectly straight up and down. It's not canted one side or the other. So now that we've got that, what I do is usually take a small Allen key, and you can start from, I take it, put it back towards the wire harness, and then just kind of ease it into place. Go ahead and get one of your screws, put it into place. Now before I did that, I did it before I turned on the video camera, but it may not be a bad idea to go ahead and check for polarity one more time before you install your back plate in. It's always a lot easier to flip your magnet around before you put this in there. So double check your polarity before you put it back into the gun. Now go ahead and take your 2 screws on your stop plate and screw them down. Okay, I'll reiterate another point about the screw here and the magnet. You want to make sure that the screw is put almost all the way into the trigger. If this magnet is sticking out to right here, it's going to hit this other magnet and end up breaking off. You don't want that to happen. You'll have to re-glue it. So make sure that you thread the screw into the trigger just about as far as you can go for right now. You can adjust it for more or less tension a little bit later on, but definitely make sure that that is screwed into the trigger. Now, do the we'll go ahead and drop the trigger into place. You definitely feel the magnet doing its job. Okay. All right, yeah, that magnet is doing its job. And then from here, it's pretty easy. Just go ahead and I usually put my back screw in first. What I'll do is I'll just kind of get the back screw just started just enough. And then once I get the back screw, I turn the gun upside down and lean it forward slightly and go ahead and put in the front screw. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, I just haven't figured it out yet. Okay, there we go. So I usually put the back screw in first, give it about a good turn, and then put in the front screw. And then we just go ahead and tighten these down. And these magnet trigger kits, I love the way these feel. Especially in the Marq, it just makes the trigger so light and snappy. There we go. Okay, and you pretty much know what to do from here. Go ahead and adjust your trigger, but man, I mean that just feels so good. Email me if you have any questions. Kit only takes about 5-10 minutes to install. Really appreciate your support in Rendition Paintball. Thank you very much.